Hi, my name is Sally Garland, and this is my independent research project. And just a quick overview explanation in case you didn't get it from my poster because I couldn't fit all of the information there. So my research question was, is there a chemical difference between more polluted beaches and more secluded beaches? So I collected 2 water samples, one from San Pedro right next to the port. Sorry, low power, and one from Laguna Beach, 1,000 Steps Beach to be exact. And these water samples are 30 miles apart from each other. One thing to note is that I assumed that San Pedro would have worse water conditions. After doing some research from National Geographic, they said that the more polluted the water is, the less oxygen levels there are, which is known as hypoxia, and then it can lead to ocean acidification. So to test the oxygen levels, I got this aquarium tank one. This is for marine aquarium tanks, but it's just these little chemicals that you're going to put into the water, and then depending on what color it is, you compare it to the chart that they gave you, and the darker the pink is, the more oxygen is going to be in it. So I performed that test on both of them. And then I got 16-in-1 water pH testing kits because they said that the less oxygen is, the more acidic the ocean was going to be as well. So I wanted to see if I'd be able to detect that in both of the tests. And in my results, I was able to see that San Pedro had almost half of the oxygen content than Laguna Beach did. This one came in at about a 4, which is dissolved oxygen was a 4. I don't really know exactly what the numbers mean because this is all that my test gave me. Again, it's for an aquarium, so not, super great. And then this one was an 8 from Laguna Beach. So it was twice as much oxygen dissolved in Laguna Beach than in San Pedro. As far as the pH test strips, I don't have them anymore because once they sit there for too long, then the colors start to go away. But I do have some pictures and you'll be able to see them on my poster. But the pH levels were different as well. When I looked it up, it said the pH of the ocean should be at around an 8.1. Both of them were lower than that. They are both more acidic than they should be. The Laguna Beach water was at around a 7. Let me double check the exact number to make sure I get that. Yes, the pH was 7.2 from Laguna Beach, and the pH from San Pedro was 6.4. So this one was really acidic, and I do have drawn the conclusion that is because it's from a more polluted area. So what does this mean? That's what's the important part. What's on our minds? So, after conducting my research on both my samples, I was able to confirm my hypothesis that the water from San Pedro was going to have less oxygen because it's from a more polluted area. And so what this means is that hypoxia is kind of like the ocean running out of breath. So the lack of oxygen hypoxia can cause reduced growth and reproduction, altered behavior, and an increase in disease and mortality in marine animals, and it also contributes to global heating and ocean acidification. And I got that from One Ocean, which is a company that does tests on the ocean and predicts things with NOAA. And then the pH test strips, again, we could see that they're both more acidic than they should have been, but the San Pedro sample was definitely more acidic. And so what this does, it depletes the vital minerals that many of the bottom sea dwellers like clams, mussels, shrimps, lobsters, and plankton use to create their shells and skeleton. So not only does this result in a less diverse biome, but it also is going to affect all of the food webs because all of these guys are at the bottom. And ocean acidification, also a lot of people have heard about this, causes coral bleaching, which is where a lot of our animals live. So it's affecting the whole ocean diversity and the biome down there because all of these animals can't create their shells, so they're going to die off a lot easier. And we eat these animals too. So, both these are bad. And I'm redoing this video. During my peer review, a lot of people asked, so which water is better, like Laguna or San Pedro? And while that wasn't my research question, I will answer it. The water from Laguna Beach is going to be more beneficial for not only the animals and the marine life in it, but for us as well because it has higher oxygen. And the more oxygen there is, the more alkaline it is. The more alkaline it is, the more plankton there are. The more plankton there are, the more oxygen we have. The one thing I did notice that was interesting, we learned a lot in this class about nitrate and that being one of the main pollutants affecting our waterways. But the only one that had traces of nitrate was Laguna Beach. I kind of looked into both of the areas, and nitrate, is from fertilizer and gardening and planting food and stuff. San Pedro is not really a place where people are gardening. It is very city, very packed in there. not the best area. So I think that that's my assumption as to why there was nitrate in here, because if you drive down Laguna, it's beautiful. There's tons of plants, tons of beautiful flourishing flowers, and San Pedro is just, the classic grass lawn. So that was one thing to note, as well as my tests are very cheap and not meant for ocean water. So take what I found with a grain of salt, but I do think it concludes my research and my hypotheses, and thank you for watching.